Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. Here I am, Brad Smith 313Z, and also known as Smith. This is Canaan, my tune, which I play in the world of DDO, Dungeons and Dragons Online. And yes, he's dancing a halfling, Jake, or what have you. Uh, I'm dancing because wrapping up the Shan-To-Kor quest line today. Um, I'm going to be. Um, it's a busy day for me, so I think this is like the only time I'm going to get to play today, and might be an hour or so. I don't know. But anyway, here we are, the final run of Shan-To-Kor. Okay, so all right, this is a. Oh wait, are you guys watching me dance? Really? Were you watching me dance? Well, I hope to all of you who will be watching later, I hope everyone's having a good day wherever you are. Here we go. Yeah, we got some down here. Alrighty. God, what the hell was that? Oh, God. That was weird. Okay, so I had better. Hmm. Of course, here's my final backpack slot that I got yesterday through favor. Finally. Oh. Excuse me. I don't remember where the treasure chest is or was. I think it's down this way. Nope. Here we go. Oh! 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 Whoa! Been watching videos on people taking shots at Steven Seagal, and it's like, oh god, that's how that guy would sound. You know, I am not a Steven Seagal fan. I'm not. Um, I'm just remembering the. I think he's been regarded as the worst Saturday Night Live host in the show's history. Over 50 years plus. I mean, close to 50 years. Let's see, I keep forgetting. Is there anything down here? Let's take a look. Nope. You know, this is just one of those things. I mean, I like that the devs do this. I mean, they put something in. Hey, let's see if we can mess with the players a bit. But yeah, Steven Seagal is just um, he's just one of those people that I I mean, I watch his movies because sometimes you just want to watch something that's going to numb your mind and make you want to forget things. And there you go. There's a Steven Seagal film for you. Um, and it's oh god, it's like um, Spider. It's I think one film that really kind of got me of his was Out for Justice. Um, because here's this, he's playing kind of like this kung fu cop in New York City, and I think that's a film. Yes, that's a film with William Forsythe, who is Forsythe is one of my favorite character actors. I mean, he is amazing, in a lot with what he does. Um, but did I take care of this whole area? Let me check. Um, William Forsythe, I think, was a villain in that one, and I think he played, some gangster type who had a connection to to Seagal's character. Of course, I remember that movie because that opened with a quote from Arthur Miller, which I just sat in the theater and went, wow, wow. Um, I thought Cobra, Sylvester Stallone's Cobra, was a vanity piece of a film, but just about everything that Steven Seagal did was a vanity piece. Um, but the thing that really struck me from that movie was that the bad guy really, he was like during the final, the boss fight. He was no match. I mean, none of those guys were a match for Seagal, and it's like it was just watching this guy just beating up people, and it's like, really? That's it? And of course we would see a lot of that years later with Walker, Texas Ranger, and don't get me started on that one. What is that spider doing? Oh god. Okay, I think I just need to disable this. There we go. I think what we have a shrine here. Yeah. I always shrine just in case. just in case. Um, yeah, it was just I just remember that film especially because um, none of the guys. I mean, Forsyth's character, I think his name was Richie. I want to say Richie. It was Richie or Paulie or something like that. And I think they were like neighborhood kids who knew each other. And anyway, um, um, I mean, he wasn't. I mean, none of these guys in his crew were fighters, were martial artists. Okay. All right. Okay. Now this is where I'm going to. I should have a bow and arrow, but hey, I have a throwing knife, and I'm going to use it if I can find it. Is that the best one I got? I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm still able to deflect things. All right, as far as that went really well. I mean, compared to other times, it went swimmingly. And then there's, oh God, can I get it? No, but this one I can get maybe. Oh, I gotta move up. All right, I think I can get him now. Nope, can't. All right, I'm gonna have to wait until I get up. But it was just there we go. Not so happy, not so smart now, are you, son of a bitch? Okay, do I need to? I think that's it. Do I have a feather fall ring somewhere? I have an idea. Oh, there we go. There we go. I think I got one more. Ooh. Oh God! I should have wore the damn ring. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I never really enjoyed his movies. I watched them. I think just for the sheer pleasures at laughing at him because it's like, seriously, dude. Um, But I remembered he hosted, when he hosted Saturday Night Live, that there was, it was horrific. It was horrible. I think David Spade and Bob Odenkirk, who has branched out into action movies now and did a really damn fine job, by the way. Now I. God, I'm flying. um, uh, they were talking about how. Let's see, did I get that one? Okay, I got them all. Okay, good. We're talking about how. I'll probably need it to. I'm still deflecting things. Yay. Um, they talked about how they were going to do the Hans and Franz sketch, and Seagal wasn't having it. He was afraid that they were afraid the characters would beat him up, and he didn't want his image like that. I guess he just, I don't know. I have to wonder. I don't think he ever watched the series. I don't think he never really. In fact, I think he did mention that. Like the first day he was there, to do, to work on, because what they do is they bring, let's see, sell that. Oh, I can sell that. Sell that. I should have just taken it out. They bring the writer in, and I mean the guest in, and they meet the cast and the writers, and most of the writers are, of course, are cast members. And he was just, I think he just came out and said, I've never seen this show before. And it's like, oh God. He just, I guess he just really didn't. I think some of his, he had ideas for skits, and one was that one where, he plays a doctor, and woman comes in, and I think she was like supposed to be like a victim of assault or sexual assault or something like that, and it was just creepy. Um, and then I guess there was, oh yeah, oh boy, here we go, Minotaur Guard. Um, I guess he had this scene. It was Bob Odenkirk who was talking about it. He was talking about it on, Howard Stern. And it was Phil Hartman dressed up. Phil Hartman was supposed to be like the president of some oil company or something like that. And he was surrounded by other people who were from oil companies. And Odenkirk said that all these guys brought in were like stuntmen. They just put them in costumes and wigs and a little bit of makeup, and they didn't have any lines. They just were sitting there. And if I've been trying to find this skit on YouTube and no luck yet. But he goes. I mean, I think Hartman's character makes this you know little statement about how much money they're making and everything else, and they don't care about the environment. And then this is when Seagal was in his eco warrior uh, phase. I think, yeah, it was about the time when Fire Down Below came out, which he directed, and which, by the way, bombed. It bombed badly. Bomb bad general, as Jar Jar Binks would say. Of course, it's supposed to be a good thing, but anyway, I digress. Um, and basically, Steven Seagal comes in and basically throws everyone into, he throws people into tables. He kicks their asses. I think he even threw Phil Hartman through a wall. Uh, Phil, oh come on. Phil Hartman's probably thinking, "What the hell, man?" Um, there we go. But and then after he gets done throwing people through, um, beating up these stuntmen and busting up the set, he launches into some speech about the environment. And yeah, a few years later, Nicolas Cage was on, and they had a skit with him. And Lorne Michaels, the producer of the show, creator, was in the sketch, and Nicolas Cage is playing himself, and he's not having a good night with the show, and he just, I don't have to go down here. There's nothing down here. He says to Lorne Michaels, he goes, "I'm sorry, I'm probably the worst host you've ever had." And Lorne Michaels goes, "No, that would be Steven Seagal." So, all right. Let's go. Yeah, I know. I probably should have. Feather fall down. Or feather fell. Oh, God. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. I wonder if I can wake these bastards up. Nope, I can't. All right. All right. That's it. I'm just going to fight him right here. The first time I saw this thing, I was just like, oh my God. Oh God. I love you kill it. You get a hit in the monster manual. All right. Nice. Oh, 25 minutes. Okay. That's not bad. Back in the day, it would take me an hour or two. Oh, and another letter. Probably got some favor somewhere. Um, but it was just really kind of horrific watching that clip and just hearing these stories about um how bad Seagal was. Okay. See, that's what they're going to use a seal to buy a alliance with the Giants, and the Giants won't be able to reestablish their empire in Zendrix. So, all right. Well, I have changed the course of history this day. Go us. Okay, let's see what we got. Mm, oh, I should take Throwing Star at some point. Okay, there we go. Sell and repair. Hey, you. Oh, that's not bad. Drop that. Hmm. Okay. Let's take a look at this armor. I'm trying to find some armor that I can glamour. I hate that armor. I really hate that armor. I can wear my snakeskin vest now, so there's that. Alright. Okay. Alrighty, let's see what this letter is about. So anyway, I've been on this kick trying to find this video, and then, uh, yeah, I was watching this Brad Smith video the other day on Twitch, and he wasn't really talking about Dungeons and Dragons. He was talking about stuff that I have no idea what he means. Uh, for the last few years, okay, I love movie and TV. I love the history of it, and it's always fascinated me. Oh, favor, and I got more points. Okay, well, cool. I might as well delete all. Um, when I grew up back in the day, and of course this is back when we only had the three main networks: ABC, CBS, and ABC. you know, NBC, ABC, CBS, was PBS, which was back in my day. PBS was basically BBC America. It seemed like, um, and of course there were UHF stations and things like that. And but you know, back then you had the three major networks, and you know, cable was around, but you know, just it wasn't that widespread yet. And of course people were, you know, uh, Betamax and VHS were just coming out. In fact, you know, everyone was all excited how Betamax was going to be the best thing and better than VHS. Well, we know how that turned out. Let's see. So anyway, um, I remember. Let's see, we got that done. Excuse me. Wait a second. I thought, where's the harbor? Okay. Well, let's do some Slayers. Ah. Anyway, there was a. I remember. I thought, you know, I think it was this comedy special with Bob Hope. By the way, Bob Hope, back in the day, I mean, he had some funny movies. Um, his TV specials, not so much. But there's this TV special that he had done, and um, it was what happened was a number of celebrities, you know, and actors were invited to Bob Hope's um, mansion for this big party. And the thing is, Bob Hope didn't do that. Well, it turns out that these all these people who show up at his house are strangled or killed by someone in a black mask and hat wearing gloves. And then their bodies start appearing in the Bob Hope swimming pool. You know? And I mean, it was like, we'll do this quest later, but let me go ahead and take it. All right, let's. Oh yeah, this is where we run into the Silutar Drow. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. The promise of fire. Anyway, um, yeah, so you have, oh my God, like the actor, like people who were in it. I mean, uh, Don Adams.
Hollywood was once a stage for entertainment.
Yeah,
Before the
Cobalt for
camera
half
shifted
day of
away.
reckoning. Yark yark. Maybe that's not a good idea. Yark. Maybe that's not. I love Cobalts. Will never forget. You know, Cobalts hate you. Anyway, uh, so I mean, it was like okay, I grew up watching a lot of um, you know um, old movies and TV shows, especially a lot of things that were in syndication at the time. And of course there were, actors like Don Adams, of course, from Get Smart. I mean, I loved Get Smart as a kid. Still do. Uh, Mike Connors, who was Mannix. I mean, God, loved Mannix. That was a great show. Um, and then there was, you know, Kolchak the Night Stalker, who had, excuse me, who had a number of my favorite actors in it. Star Trek, but you had characters. I mean, the people in this, in these Bob Hope specials, or Carol Burnett, were like Foster Brooks, who, I don't know if his drunk act would translate well in society these days. George Global, Red Buttons. I mean, uh, Charo. Charo was in it. Uh, oh God. Um, it was well. What was Jack Albertson was in it, and what was really kind of heartrending when Freddie Prince Senior. Um, that's Freddie Prince. So, and Jack Albertson were in Chico and the Man, and of course, Freddie's son, Freddie Jr., has really, he's carved out a really good career for himself, and he married Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he's done some Star Wars stuff. So hey, life's been, he's done well. But it was like, oh God, who just hit me? Oh, freaking cleric. Phil Silvers. Yeah, Phil Silvers. Anyway, they oh, come on. Oh God. Hmm. Um, Milton Berle. Um, Abe Vigoda was in. I mean, I just remember it was all these different actors and comedians and celebrities, and throughout the course of the special, it was only like 90 minutes long, if that. And they were all being killed off and floating face first in Bob Hope's swimming pool, which is an image. I mean, that's the thing that I always remember was, these bodies floating face first in Bob Hope's swimming pool. Anyway, for years I've been trying to find um um I've been trying to find out the name of the thing and trying to find something on YouTube or whatever. And I just knew. I mean, I knew. See, it ends with Johnny Carson being the killer, which I thought was ingenious, um, given the history with Johnny Carson and Bob Hope. But I'll get into that later. Anyway, let's see. I finally found it. It took me a while, but I found it. I obsess about things. I go down the rabbit hole, and oh, that's right. I didn't bump up my. Ooh. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take this. There we go. Actually, looking at the time. All right, I'm going to cut it short, folks. I am, if you watch this, sorry about the little. Uh, I know I didn't talk about the game very much, but, hey, a lot of you play the game already. I'll talk about the game later. Anyway, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again later. Take care, be safe. It's chaos out there. Be kind, and be seeing you.